constantly like, just kind of fishing through characters, trying to find some good footage. So, new character. See how far we can take with the shades on and everything.
That is one of the funnier aspects of the character. Is just pick a pair of shades on, giving them little persona vibes.
Yeah.
I'll try. Believe in victory.
Here we go.
Battle 1. Engage.
Start things off slowly, a little dancing on the ground.
Man, that's something to be really mindful of. Like, you think of the counter that Bilal has, and the obvious implications is taking buttons away from close range, or closer range, like the mids and the heavy. But it's also a useful tool just to get in on somebody if they're really careless with the projectiles. So something that might cross Blue's mind at some point is like how he responds or how he preps himself after he throws a projectile. Might not need it with the way this round is going because it's almost over.
Hit grab, the meaty fireball pressure, trying to mount some kind of comeback move. Oh, he was ready. He was ready.
Classic. Talked about shoulders earlier. That's from the 101.
So get you on chapter 1, right?
Yeah.
First page.
Wait for him to jump forward. You ready again with the anti-air. Big 2U, or 2H.
Yep, runs into a counter there. Brody's got the corner switch. Everything's going their way, and now Blue's probably going to have to do a little bit of unfamiliarity here. And Blue's is typically not known for having the highest patience when blocking in those scenarios, and then add to the mix the chaos that comes with like a character you've never seen.
Right.
That kind of played out how I expected it to.
It was kind of amusing because Proteus was setting the sights up, the immediate sights, but instead of setting the ones on top of Blue to keep them locked down, Proteus was pulling them back just to keep Blue from like moving or pressing a button. Blue was waiting for them, so that kind of shows that he's not really familiar at all with what Bilal can present. But again, this is like the third day.
Yeah. For sure. All right. Another interesting thing is when I was looking at that counter. Oh, block.
Yeah. Was probably looking for a grounded hit, but still got a decent punish. Didn't get the command. Oh, but Blue. Yeah. Pouring on the steam. Cop Proteus tried. Oh, but he dropped it.
Oh, yep, and that should be it. Big moment for Blue, and drops it at the last moment. I was about to say nice confirm, and right as I say that, I see the air reset.
Believe in victory.
But like I was saying about that, go ahead.
No, you're right.
I was saying, like I said about that parry, it has a weird property where, like, even if you're throwing a fireball, it kind of leaves you in like hit stop.
Right.
It's just kind of odd because like you would expect your character to keep moving independently, but you freeze along with it if it triggers. Nice cross up push Blue into the corner, but Blue ain't having it.
Little TD with the air slash. Proteus is ready. Ready with the close M. That's something else to be mindful of about Bilal. Bilal's startup on his normal, like especially the close normals, are pretty good. Don't have the exact numbers. The only one that crosses my mind is he has a 5 frame 2A.
Okay.
Didn't get to use it right there.
Yeah, Blue cautious looking for a reversal, but nothing there. Decides to use it as the green light to go in and finish the job.
Slid it all the way in before he let that 2U rip. Okay.
All right, now it's counter hit confirmed for Blue. Goes for the safe jump.
Gets out of the corner with it too, because it was looking kind of wonky with it. Oh, this should be it. Blue was ready. But still in a good position, especially when he finds a counter hit 5C from downtown, bruh.
Yeah, Blue's been getting a good amount of mileage off that button in this match.
I mean, he better. That's what Grand is known for, right?
For sure. And like I've noticed, like from previous tournaments, is that his rate of confirming stuff like the counter hits, daggers, and frame traps it's definitely steadily rising. He waited for the longest time for that. I don't know if he hesitated or knew, but nonetheless, it worked out for him.
And I feel like that's the first time Proteus has gone for the counter in that scenario. Speaking of counters, Blue's still ready for it. Stopping the approach with the DP, but getting cleaned up with a couple of 2Ds. Sent back to mid-screen.
Yeah, Proteus has been using that as a pretty successful poke into the hit grab, just in the neutral situation.
Poking away with 5 U's, and that's going to be the first round of Game 3 going to Blue, sitting on match point.
Battle 2. Engage.
It's weird not seeing that knockdown anymore.
Wait a second. You just see the fear in everybody's eyes when they see Grand flying at him foot first, but seeing the changes coming to fruition since Blue doesn't get the corner carry for that anymore, catching up to the action, he's down, getting back to the corner by Proteus, who's stalking him. Yeah, the light arm is safe. So it's a really useful confirm, like to just tuck in behind the normal and try to snipe somebody with a whiff punish or a counter punch. But it looks like Proteus isn't going to get another chance for that, because as soon as I run my mouth, 5U is here again to slap him out of the sky. And Blue, holding on against a new character, is going to take his set 2-0. 2-1, excuse me. Maybe I'll get scored right.
Like Blue was in control a lot of the time, but Proteus wasn't like just shut out, as you can see from the overall score. So it was an interesting set.
All right. He's already shown really good ideas with the character too. Has a competent neutral. Showing the idea that he's just not willing to be bullied full screen by fireballs. I mean, he's got one of his own with the spikes, but willing to test the reactions and the awareness of Blue with the counter as well. So he presented a couple of ideas. Was looking for the command throw at some point. Was looking for a counter against a button. Just some things that, you know, their risk with reward, and the risk just didn't pan out for him. Still, just having the idea and the willingness to present those, they'll add up at some point in time for him.
Agreed.
We got it. Blue still sitting here?
So yeah, so I'm guessing cool. Alright, since Blue made it past round 1, gonna meet Marvin Pie, who's sitting in there round 2 waiting for an opponent.
Marvin Pie. I mean, are you just telling this, or are you saying this on stream? Oh, you're completely derailing us.
I actually thought you were talking to the stream as well.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we're gonna have Marvin Pie and Blue up next, since he just won that last match. And after that, it should be Kitsune Cass and Tech to east side. So and actually, I've just been informed I'm incorrect. So just switch the order of the matches I just said. We're going to see Cass and Tectal up next.
So it sounds like we got a break. You know what that means?
You know what? I know what that means, man.
What does that mean?
It means if you hit !Matcherino in the chat, it'll bring up the details for you to add some money to the pot for us. If you go to the links presented, you can just enter the code in after signing in with one of your social medias. It could be Twitch, Twitter, Discord, or whatever. Enter the code in, add 50 cents to the pot. You can do some sponsorship questions if you so please, or donate if you're so generous, but it's not expected of you. But we'd be much appreciated if you at the very least add in the code to help sweeten the pot for the players.
I wonder who Tectal's playing right now. I think I remember seeing him playing Percival somewhere, like on Fame's stream. But I wonder if he's like sticking to Percival. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe Vegeta. Maybe a new
I'm
character.
thinking Jita. That's what I'm leaning towards as far as what I've seen. But yeah, like you said, it can be a lot of things. Maybe he'll dust that off that old Charlotta.
Maybe. Why did Vegeta though?
Uh, probably stability.
You saying that like Percival's not stable?
Well, based on what I've been hearing, I suppose I should say I should qualify with that.
Fair enough.
Just
It's nice.
was nice to what?
Nice to just have your entire kit at the ready without having to go out of your way to get charges or anything. You know, who wants to do that? Everybody just wants to push the buttons and make the magic happen.
Hey man, get right to it. But yeah, first of all, it's pretty much just on the table, I assume. And I don't know how Tecmo feels about the overall changes, patches. You know, word on the street, Percival didn't make it out so hot. But, you know, I guess we'll have to, again, see with time how that ends up panning out.
I mean, depending on who you ask, nobody really made it out alive. Except for Lil apparently.
I've been hearing really good things about Saurus.
Yeah, him too. The one character that, like, nobody played before the patch. Everybody was like, oh, I'm going to be the Saurus player. And then they see what the final product was. They're like, it wasn't even I'm going back to my character, because it was a bunch of people getting into the game. They're like, I'm going back to my game. But yeah, now the 2 or 3 people that were sticking to their guns, they're the ones that are going to be the big winners. Wonder if we'll ever see one.
I don't know. We'll never know. You said they drove Saurus back to the store with the receipt in hand. Said, no, thanks.
I could be wrong. Let me double check this. Saurus is one of the characters that hasn't been played at all in ZoneBreakers. Not on stream.
Yeah, okay. So we got technically side rocking the Jita, as I suspected, and then Kasuna Cast, of course, running the Lil Wayne.
Congrats, you won the lottery.
Yeah, the lottery with 2 choices, really.
There was 3. You said Charlotta.
Fair enough.
Let's see what this Vegeta has.
Technically, we're gonna take the slow approach, not getting into any shenanigans.
Being mindful of the slide too. That's another thing that got buffed from Lil Wayne. A little more distance on the 2U. So useful tool against high pokes, projectiles, stuff of that nature. Technical doesn't need any of those when he gets full confirmed. I feel like that's the first full confirm we've seen today.
The Cash runs it back. And actually one of the patch things that pointed out for Jita is that one of her big things is like after she completed her combo, all the cooldowns are back. But as you saw right there, Technical was still in all black after the combo.
I don't think he minds too much at all.
Nah.
Still looking pretty good.
Battle 2, engage.
Calling the cap off the cover, calling the boys the same.
It's the 2U, so it's a good little start.
Technical using that jump as a defensive measure to see what Cass is looking for.
And that is another one of the things that changed, one of the universal changes, the distance from the jump. I don't know about back jump. It didn't cross my mind to actually look at those. But like for normal jumps, they have a little more loft to them.
Yeah. So if you want the regular distance, you have to use the super jump if I recall correctly. And that's actually one of the interesting things I'm seeing from Cass is that Cass is up until this point been the believer in the draft, like most Waynes.
Right.
Many of the intermediate Waynes never really go for a human pyramid. They usually sit on their meter in case they gotta, bring out the lady.
Battle 3.
Oh, you trash her, but you see a Cass like use that human pyramid for pressure confirms a lot more.
It worked out in the last round, has even up 1 apiece. And I have to see how it pans out again. You know it's on Cass's mind. I'm getting really close to it too. In a way.
It is.
Yeah. And that comes after a punish too. Caught the low for Tecmo trying to move with a jump to get out of the corner. And waiting for the counter too. but it looks like, yeah, Tekto's not really going to get a chance to capitalize on it at all. Has to defend against the pyramid. And
I don't know why. I don't know why he swung. Or what he was particularly looking for.
Oh, the DP too. Because one of the subtle changes, if I remember correctly, I have to look at the notes, but I feel like that when the pyramid gets hit, they changed the hit stop to where Lil Wayne gets to act sooner, if I remember correctly. So, like, it didn't matter in that scenario because just being able to tank the DP was enough. But they made it to where you don't really want to swing into it unless you specifically know what you're looking for. Like, you don't want to flail into it. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, they're not stuck in hit stop as long, I believe. So yeah, that's definitely makes it harder to just outright contest with strikes. That counter. And there goes Tekto's. Like Tekto's a big believer in jumping out of pressure. He's one of those types like if you don't specifically give me a reason to keep my feet on the ground, I'm jumping out of your pressure.
A fuzzy thing.
As such, right there.
Yeah, this is one of the most unfortunate things about Lil Wayne. So, with the drop from Tekto, Kitsune had like the freest punish in the world, but Lil Wayne doesn't have a super to confirm it to.
Nah.
So they didn't really do anything and still left Lil Wayne in a corner. So, pretty tight scenario for Cass as Tekto was pushing in, gets another 2C, and this time gets the 2B into the EX Vorpal, and that's going to be the end of the round.
Yeah, Tekto was scouting for that jump pretty hard, which I think is a big reason why a lot of Cass's like really straightforward ground approaches have been pretty successful.
All right. Cass running away. I'm okay with this, as long as the idea is building meter again. Hopefully for another pyramid, because yeah, Yggdrasil didn't do too much. A super nonetheless. That's the idea.
Oh, yep. Okay, that was pretty nice. Don't even gotta say anything.
Poetry in motion. But still not really enough to bail Cass out of the situation just yet. Nice. Tekto trying to move. The Tekto to the top side with the JU. Gets the cross up, pushing Cass over to the corner. Waited for the flinch, gets to confirm from the 2B. Caught the reach.
Oh.
It's gonna be close.
Nah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yes, Cass spent a ton of effort putting in, you know, all the cat bots, calling out the boys, just trying to maintain control as much as possible. But when it got to the quarter, like he said, just flinched 2 times, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Alright, there's a Tekto using that jump, and on the way up, sees the throw and comes back down with the punish.
And I kind of wonder if Tekto had the idea to try to air Kitsune right there, but was just too slow to the draw. He's cast out mid-screen, getting it confirmed from the cat bot. And a throw. Close to super. And there it is, not the way Cass wanted it though, as Tekto was able to break out. Still ready for it.
Yo, get back in there.
And has the meter for the super again. With the manual inputs, it's enough to get another round.
Battle 2, engage.
Yeah,
No, sorry, that's just not the fear in him, right? Runs
Yeah.
up to a fireball, it's like, what do I do? What do I do?
Tekto patiently waiting. And a lot of what Tekto's getting hit by is like the cat block setting, other boys coming out, and then Cass making an aggressive play and punishing Tekto for trying to swing back.
It looks like there's not enough people in Cass's entourage as Tekto is still pushing forward, one hit away from taking it. Yggdrasil, please get me out of this corner.
Alright.
She's kind of doing it.
Yeah, got a lot of mileage from it, and then that should be a punish.
Should've.
Yeah. Nope, it's Tekto using that jump again, and yeah, it still has yet to be like just reasonable check. Yeah, it wasn't in chip range. Well, it wasn't chip range, but wasn't under the chip condition of being put to 1 first.
Right. Cass was able to hold on for dear life and live to see another round.
Speaking of anti-air, yes, yeah, like you said, it's always been walking. That Cass has been getting hit by these jumpings usually, if not throw.
Jumping around the counter, finds another big 2C against the cross up.
There he goes again. Yeah, neutral jump is been Texas like go-to tool in this match. That and cross up jump you.
Able to hold down the block with the 2H's as well, making sure Cass can't go too far. And it seems like a recipe for success for Tech.
Yeah, Tecto had a pretty high. Like I'm trying to think if there was like a specific jump that was like really missed, but for the most part, Tecto held it down with the anti-airs. But on the other end of that, Cass was not really answering Tecto's jumps at all, and that made a big difference.
Yeah, like the only miscue that Tecto really had was it was a round that almost got away from him. The one that he closed out with the Super Sabah. Because the reason why that was even close is he goes for the 2C, he gets the counter hit, and he goes for the confirm, and he dropped. Either he dropped it or the end result is he dropped. Either he mistimed it or he was too far to get the I think he went for B Vorpal if I remember correctly. And that's where Cass was able to flip out, and I think that was Human Pyramid, if I remember correctly. But still, like that was the only time Tecto really didn't get the most out of an anti-air. Any other time that we can think, or I can think of at least, it was a big counter hit 2C into hefty damage and a trip over to the corner.
Pretty much. Even when Cass was like aim was to like get out of the corner via cross up, the move still knocked him back to the other end. And right back into the corner. So good stuff from Tectal. So our next match would be Marvin Pie in blue. Okay, we're dropping down to losers actually, while that winners match is on hold. So we're gonna have Proteus back up, who was using the Bilal earlier, up against Kasuna Cass, who just got defeated by Tectal.
Where is Kitsune Cat? Just left, just ran. I gotta talk to you about that in a second.
All right, so I guess we're just gonna wait for our next match. Yeah, we got some dead air.
Yeah,
for a little bit. So
how you been feeling so far? You've had 3 matches. You been feeling what? My bad. You gotta talk with me. Gotta have an actual conversation. How you been feeling, man?
Man, I was actually definitely was interested to see if someone was gonna play a Bilal. So I'm glad Proteus brought that out. So
Yeah.
As far as the changes go, like you said, it's not thing that really changes. From what I can tell, at least at this point, there's nothing that changes like the methods that people go about doing.
Right.
But it's more like what makes things that they wanted to do better or worse. So
I have the impression that if Marvin shows up and plays Fairy, that'll be like the most drastic change we'll see out of anybody today.
yeah,
Because with the changes Fairy got, or I guess more specifically the nurse, it's not like she's a completely new character, but I'm under the impression that her standard operation just isn't the same.
I can see that because I think she got a lot of recovery hits, right, and stuff like that.
A lot of recovery. Gigi doesn't have a hitbox on the way up, if I remember correctly. But I'd have to scroll. Just a lot of things to where like many of the complaints that people had against Fairy just aren't so prevalent. They're not prevalent on paper. right? So
Okay.
have to see if there are things that actually happen, or if there are changes that people have to enforce. But that's a character that is nowhere on the screen right now. We're back to Belial, and we got the squad.
It's gonna be interesting. I was gonna say it's gonna be interesting to see how the parry comes into play and it really happens. 'Cause
Right?
I imagine there might be some dynamic there that Cass has to look for in calling out various catbots and comrades.
I would think it's a combination of like what happens after one of them makes contact, which is what we saw in the beginning, or like making sure the string is tight so that Proteus didn't have a chance to actually counter through. Really, it's gonna come down to if Proteus is able to mix up the timing for it. Needs to try to get something to get out of it. He's getting different time. Finds one right there over the missiles too. So it's a bit of a break.
I don't know what Cass is doing there. But got snatched out of the hit grab there. Have to call on your Dragon for help.
Yo, what do we just mass count?
Oh well. All we hit was mass dodge. Dodge the green light to the flame guard.
It's kind of on my mind now. Like, I wonder if it has. I wonder if Big Diesel has any problems to stop it. That would be. That'd be awesome. No,
Well, according to the description, it beats everything that's not a throw.
Oh, I'm checking it. Okay, Proteus found the gap with the DP, gets out of the corner, but doesn't get too far. Not able to keep Cass contained.
Cass is trying to find something.
They're boxing over here, but they're not really scoring any hits.
Gets the DP, gets smacked right back down.
Cass kind of going off over here. Doesn't have a super confirm it too though. Doesn't need it. Gets the low.
That was I mean, I can't really call it much but a scramble there.
Believe in victory.
And Cass was the one who kept the cool at the end.
Engage.
Oh!
And the thing that I'm really seeing from this though, that's what Proteus is. Like, very willing to try to block out all of the misses and all the pressure, but not really looking for DPs. I mean, that's very useful for Cass. Because nothing else is really coming at this point. Like, a lot of the setups, I'm assuming all the setups, the theory behind it is that they're all airtight. You know, if Proteus is not willing to try to break out at all, good luck flipping coins. It's just not going to pan out.
Yeah, this is kind of the stark difference from the Tekla match where you saw Tekla using jumps and he just challenged a lot of them. Pretty successful.
Tekla was able to get pushes as well. That's another thing to keep in mind. And anti-airs too. That's a big one. Like, to start to find trouble. Proteus letting the JU go free like that.
Slides back to the other side to take the point. That was very bold of Cass. It didn't quite work out in his favor.
Realistically though, I get the impression that if Proteus is looking for a 2A right there instead of a 5A, this would be a completely different round.
I can see that.
Double cross, finds the mark, and that's going to be Cass taking the second round. Taking the second game. Taking the trip to the second round in the lower bracket. That was a quick one.
Yeah. Even I had to stop and think about it. I was like, oh, was that it?
Yeah.
It was.
It just seems kind of mucked and all because there's no other way to put this. They just kind of sat in the corner for a while and slapped each other, you know, like the kids slap fight and everything. Because, like, Proteus could never find a big confirm. Couldn't really find anything. And, like, Cass eventually started getting the hits. But, again, it's Lil Wayne. It's not like Lil Wayne just, like, destroys somebody on contact. So, it was a lot of messy guessing. Like, I don't want to sell it short,
Yeah.
but there's not a lot to really say about it. Not for what was just presented to us.
Yeah, that's fair. And I guess at this point, I just want to see what happens when Proteus, refines some of that Belial and brings it back next time.
The defense. That's the thing that really needs to be worked on. Like, the neutral is okay, but just like defense, that's where Proteus struggles. And it's not even Belial's defense. It is not against Lil Wayne's offense. It's just like needs to DP every now and then.
Let them know you mean business.
Yeah. Can't really go anywhere else. Like, wasn't really anywhere to try to fit a dodge in there or anything. It's not like you can roll away from it as well. So yeah, just needs to show that he's willing to get some people off at some point. Anti-airs as well. Because I'm thinking of a couple of the big jumps that Cass was able to get for free. Like, the JU stands out in my mind, but there was a couple of whatever Lil Wayne's cross-up is. I can't remember if it's JM or JH. There was a couple of those that I'm pretty sure Proteus should have been able to do something about, even if it was just a DP and not a big Half-Life confirmed.
Makes sense. And yeah, like on top of that, you also saw like Cass just frequently using the jump to get out of the corner. And like again, compared to the Tecno match where that was like, nah, you get back in there. It was more of an escape, and then turning on the pressure right back on the Proteus.
Well, nonetheless, wait, who we got up here? Because I see people moving around. What we got? Ooh.
All right. So Marvin Pie has been DQ'd or at least DQ'd and put into losers bracket for now. So now we got winners finals, which are gonna be Blue versus Tectal.
What is this? What is this winners finals? Hold on. I thought this game was supposed to be like this great adventure of characters and everything, this diverse cast and everything, and we got the pro tags up in winners finals. Yeah, okay.
Oh man, yeah, and this is like I alluded to the last ZB. Yeah, this is just one of those matches where Tecmo and Blue play each other all the time, and Tecmo just has Blue's numbers, just as a matter of fact at this point in time.
Believe in victory.
Yeah, if I was a betting man, Tecmo would look pretty good right now, but Blue might have something cooking for us.
Sure, like Blue's been improving a lot, so we'll see how it goes. Taking a little off the top there.
Ooh, step up with the 5. I mean, that's not Tecmo's fault. He's Tecmo Pro, but it feels so bad in this game because of how long the recoveries are.
Yeah. You just kind of got to look at yourself. Look that throw for a good while.
This is kind of tight. Tecmo with the neutral jump, getting a little confirmed coming down with the JB. And interrupt the 5U. This is a good one for Tecmo. Good close around out here. Okay. I don't know why in the world I thought he was going to say something right there.
It's usually what you see people do there. But yeah, had the juice ready. That was awesome.
Battle 2. Engage.
But still, that was a really close round. Long range, waiting for it. That was a delayed DP too. Tecmo was waiting so long for this one to be blowing this round wide open. Has the super again. Taking the safe jump this time. One hit's gonna close it out if he finds it. Can't get it just yet. The end to be Warful, no good. And that gives a little bit of a break for Blue, but not enough as he runs into an EXDP.
Yeah, that was a pretty funny moment. It's just like Tech was just sitting there watching, Blue was watching, and then Blue lets it rip.
I don't fault Blue for that. Like, it looked awkward because it was a delayed DP at that point, but, I mean, it was a different defensive option.
Yeah, for sure.
Guess wrong. Ran for how that ran panned out. He guessed horribly wrong, but I mean,
it was definitely had dire consequences behind it.
Yeah. Beginning of game 2, looking a lot better for Blue.
Got the corner push, got a good life lead, maintaining some aggressive ground, though he's backing up a little bit.
Yeah. He's finding in here with the 2C, the big one. But he doesn't get a chance to confirm it. The super attack lets Texel out of the corner, who comes out with overhead over the throw, so this is really good for Texel to try to turn this around.
Yeah, moved out in that tick row and didn't work out, but he still managed to steer it around.
I was so good from Blue, because you saw Texel put him in the same scenario. He knocks him down in the corner, and he's waiting for the delayed wake up, delayed DP, and Blue stood up and did 5D. It wasn't a DP.
Yeah. Just changing up those options, spinning the wheel, so to speak.
More importantly, he's paying attention to what Texas is doing. He's going to have to do it again. He's going to find himself on the back one more time in the safe jump scenario. Here we go.
Right. Oh, off the low, yeah. Very impressive to see.
Didn't press the button, so he didn't get cleaned out by the 2C, so he's still in this.
Yeah, I don't know if he's just like expecting Texas to block in there and then like landing and surprising him.
Yeah.
But it's pretty hard to surprise someone with the reaction to Texas.
Either that or like hoping that a 2B is coming out, 2B or 5B.
Yeah, that could be the case as well. Or something that so Texas is generally pretty patient. He kind of like flows with his opponent.
Top gets around the 5B. Again with another look at the safe jump. This time going high. Still can't really find anything so far.
Right back to square one. There was no high or low. You look for the throws.
The chip didn't have enough for it just yet. Blue gave up such a huge opportunity. Blue could have took the round right there if he was ready for that. And I don't know if he was expecting to be in range for a close 5A, but for the fact that he made contact and had nothing behind it, that was his round.
Yeah, definitely some good stuff from Blue, like you mentioned. He's definitely looking at the actions Texas are taking, and he's gradually adjusting himself. So I feel like even though this is, running in Texas' favor, obviously I've seen a lot of stuff that's just different from Blue overall.
Well, since this is the winner's finals, Blue still has at least one more chance to bring this back. Trying to stop Texel to make it all the way to Grands in a clean sweep. It's a good start.
He elicited something that made Texas want to dodge and got a nice punish, corner push. And I guess this is another thing about Blue standing out. When he gets the corner, he's very content to kind of just let it go.
Yes.
Out of fear of like reversal rings and stuff.
It just gives Texel so many more chances that he technically deserves in this scenario. Making the most out of him though. Nice stop with the 5A from Blue. Oh, range 2C. That one could have been the end of the round for him if Texas didn't press the button, but still. Texas pressing forward, gets it confirmed from the EX Corporal with the 5C. Is going to take the first round in game 3, sitting on match point.
Battle 2, engage.
Yeah, Blue playing a little gutsy there with that 2C. It looked nice because he hit it. You know you've had some of those.
Yeah. Big advantage from either player quite yet. Seeing how weak Texel is.
Trying to be a little more mobile, move away from Texel. You see Texel dashing a little bit deeper. Finds the gap and threads the needle with a DP to put Blue up into the corner. Late tech gets cleaned up by UL.
Oh, good challenge from Blue. This amount of points accepted. But goes for the overhead mix. Texas waiting for that jump. Just like with the gas match, it's not a lot of hard counters. Tecmo jumping out of stuff.
Right. It was just expecting him to be willing to sit and take whatever comes his way, not one to have. Man, you remember these real meaty setups? Been a long time.
Bringing that one out the vault.
Uh-huh.
It'll be relevant for many years to come, I'm sure.
Probably not relevant for Tectal, as because nobody remembers real meaty setups, that gives him the chance to jump all the way to Grand Finals.
All right, and if you've been watching so far, we're thankful for it. If you put an exclamation point Matcherino, it should bring us some links for you to contribute to the pod, and you can see the codes there on the screen. If you still go in, you can sign in with any of your social medias, Discord, Twitch, Twitter, whichever one.
It's gonna be Twitter.
It's gonna be Twitter. Go in there and fire in those codes. It'll add 50 cents to the pot. Nothing from your side is needed outside of the added the code. And adding in that free 50 cents would be nice. There's also sponsor quests that you can do as well. That'll also put in free money from the pot. If you want to put in a little effort, it's usually stuff like retweets or visiting a site. And you can also contribute directly, but we won't ask that of you. If you're generous enough to do so, we'll be very grateful. And thank you for tuning in so far.
Yes, thank you for tuning in to ZoneBreakers Online number 12. First one in the new patch. Had a pretty good showing of the patch so far. Get to see some of the highs and lows of some of the characters. Got to see some Belial. That's, you know, a lot of what you can ask for when you have your first display of a new patch.
Yeah. So that makes Tectal waiting in grand finals for whoever's opponent is. I guess we're gonna give Marvin Pie the countdown until the DQ comes back up, and then they're out of the tournament for good. And, all right, so we've gotten word that Marvin Pie is on the way.
I just have this mental image of the Royal Rumble countdown. Sitting over in the corner, everything. And you get the picture of Marvin Pie running through the backstage, getting set up and everything. 3, 2, 1. Hit the music. Marvin come running down the ramp. Oh no!
Well, let's just hope Chunko doesn't get clothesline out of the ring immediately.
There is no Jan, so nobody's getting laid out by lariats today.
Oh man.
Those have been some of the funny things that people have been doing lately. Royal Rumble events.
Yeah, I've been seeing people mix things up, and I guess like that's kind of the thing that online kind of lets you do is do the flexible stuff that you can still do, could have done offline, but people are definitely more bold and willing to try more things.
They gotta expand their horizons and everything because, you know, when you have 20 tournaments the same day, some people just get sick of the same road. So
yeah.
I won't be too surprised if somebody takes that idea offline. Like it's not really that hard to replicate. You would just need like a separate setup or like a separate stream setup or something, or at least a recording setup to get all the bells and whistles you need, and just like let people do it throughout the day. Something of that effect. And I mean, you can even do it that way. Now that I think about it, like instead of having a set order, you just like you give everybody like a ticket or something, like that's their entry ticket for whatever they're ready to jump in or whatever you call them, right?
Yeah.
They get their ticket, they sit down, and they play.
I can definitely see that. I think people are probably gonna be more creative and more flexible, you know, in 2025 or when majors come back.
2025, man, you're that's some wishful thinking right there. We ain't ever going back. This is it.
This is your majors now.
Can't remember if it was today or yesterday. I was sitting there. It was yesterday because I was driving, and I was like, man, I haven't, aside from like the people that I have to see on the daily basis, I haven't seen anybody outside of that circle since March. Yeah, it's been a while.
It has. It has.
It's gonna keep on going for the unseeable future.
Something nobody could have predicted.
Crazy times. This is crazy as the time that we're taking right here to wait for Marvin Pie.
Well, I don't know if we have the room to say if you take like a 30-second, 1 minute break before action starts.
Oh,
I'm
saying it. If you have it already, go make sure that your pie hasn't like burnt in the oven. Make sure that your dog is doing good wherever they are, in or out of the living facility. Check on your cats too. I know people have been having cats lately. The cats are wild.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna actually do that myself. I'm gonna grab me some water real quick.
Word. Oh man.
So it looks like Marvin Pie has arrived for the match.
I didn't hear the music.
He did one of those stealth Royal Rumble entrances. He come from under the ring.
Oh yo. Oh yo. Who's the character? That's the question. Who's the character? Fairy. Okay.
Sticking with the guns. Brought Fairy to the dance. We're leaving with Fairy.
There's so many other beautiful ladies out there.
But they don't got the GG.
Or the Beppo.
Or the Beppo. That's really the Beppo that wins your heart.
Yeah.
Believe in victory. Battle 1.
Imagine being able to play from full screen, lock people down, and still have a DP. The full kit.
Alright, Junko jumping around, trying to gauge the space and trying to figure out where can I get in. And make the fatal mistake of putting in a fireball. Putting out a fireball at the wrong time.
Dawes is looking, it's like, yeah, Fairy looks kind of different already. I see Grand popping up a little bit higher, getting action confirmed from the whip in and everything. But this also goes to show that Marvin's been doing the homework already in the past few days just to make sure that Fairy is firing all cylinders for this.
Yeah, it's looking a lot like business as usual. So I can definitely see that Marvin Pie did the homework.
Still kind of close. Junko has the lead and is sitting on it. Slowly walking into the corner though.
Yeah,
I don't.
You don't think what?
I don't know if Junko really wanted to hit and give Marvin GG back.
Okay, Street Fighter 2. Well, Marvin Pie is still exhibiting a lot of patience and using every second of that clock to get up this one. And it seems to be paying off quite a bit. Not rushing in, not running into errant fireballs in the patience, just quietly dodging, looping up, taking the pokes, and boom, managed to take that round from what was a pretty decent deficit.
Yeah. Rip Grand's hands clean out of the fireball. That was a good look from Marvin. That was a pretty rocky round, to say the least. He's still there. Everybody complains about the lack of a whip animation, but it don't matter if it is.
Yeah, that's the thing that's always funny with Fairy. Like ultimately in the end, if the Fairy player is good enough to make contact with all of it, it's hard for the rest to like matter, and at least in a straightforward way.
Got no clue what that DP was about, but Marvin is so about it. Gets the follow first, and the side swap confirming the super as well. Doesn't get the second 2C, but doesn't look like it really needed at this point. Just able to walk back full screen and wait for the last hit. There it is.
Finish.
Yeah, and so when the shoe was on the other foot, Junko didn't display like even, I would say, half of the patience that Marvin Pie did in that situation. Immediately booting in, swinging a bit, and then just hoping to catch something with the DP, and that was a wrap.
Battle 1. Engage.
That was the whip Let's punish to start things out. Bit of rock, paper, scissors, though. So I imagine Chunko's looking to stop an immediate 5B. It was looking really good for Marvin. The pull in.
Yeah, feels like Tuco has a lot of muscle memory from like I'm at this range, throw a fireball, and is not really thinking about who's on the other side of that screen.
Yeah. Dodges are out of EX. And that means, yeah, by chucking that in, you have no other options but to move forward. Marvin's still ready for it.
Right, chip range, we got this big ball playing. It's like, I would, like at this point, you just kind of force it.
Player
Block,
2.
you can't block it.
It's like, yeah, it's like I don't really blame him, but there's not a lot that realistically can happen.
Sounds like Marvin was ready with the 5 to 8. A lot, Chunko in the corner.
Fireball successful stops kills.
Oh!
Oh!
I want to say that's the second time we've seen Marvin swing. And there's a lot of reason to look for it, too, because the entire swing is counter hit down. I mean, that wouldn't have been, like, the biggest reward with the DP. That DP resonator. But, you know, that's something to really put on people's minds. So, it was a good look for Marvin. Gets another punish on a full screen fireball with the whip. Just allowing Gigi to take the charge and close out the game.
Has not looked disturbed by the changes in the lease.
No. It looks very in tune with him, actually.
Like, I guess, like, offhand, it looks like one of those things that is really, rather than weakening the character, it just makes it harder for people to be effective without, like, knowing their stuff.
Yep. Can totally agree with that. Because, again, that fairy was not looking, well, the routes and the situations weren't looking the same as they were before, but they're still there. And at the end of the day, she looked like she was still dominating on the other side of the screen. So that's everything they were asking for with the character. She's doing her job.
For sure, for sure. And so the next match up should be Marvin Pie once again and Kitsune Cass.
Yeah, Marvin ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, they are glued to the seat.
The only way that Marvin is going to be allowed to leave that cabinet is on a stretcher. All right, well, I mean, what other matches do we have?
Marvin Pie versus...
Exactly.
So Marvin Pie has evacuated the premises despite having a next match. So I guess the DQ timer is on again, and so we'll see what happens.
Oh, we're winding down. ZoneBreakers online. Waiting to see what happens to Marvin. Marvin gets the emergency signal from the other side of the town. Will they be able to get across the city and save the damsel in distress before the bomb goes off? Find out in the next exciting episode. I actually had that so much better in my mind, but I jacked up the scenario, so we ran with it. Yeah, we got a second. What's up?
Nothing on my mind right now, you know. So I guess while we wait for Marvin Pie, I'm gonna go get that water real quick.
Yeah, you go ahead and do that. You do that. I guess I'll talk about Matcherino because there's not too much more to talk about. Exclamation point, Matcherino in the chat. Bring up the links that you need because just like everything that you've been seeing out of the FGC for the past 5 months, pretty much everything is crowdfunded by Matcherino. That means you can add some money to the pot using the code ZBGBVS12 because we made it to the 12th one. Use that code and you can add 50 cents to the pot. Now you got some time. You can go ahead and click some of them sponsored quests. Follow a couple people, then follow them. I know you don't really want to follow them. Retweet some things and then unretweet it. I know you don't really want that flooding your feed. And that'll add a couple more bucks to the pot. If you're feeling so generous, knowing that Granblue made it to a second season, knowing that ZoneBreakers made it to the 12th episode, you could donate your own money. We would be so thankful. Why do I hear all this going off over here? What are you doing? You blowing stuff? You blowing stuff up. I ain't worried about it. Oh, man. This is the filler arc, waiting for Marvin to get back. You got that water?
I did. So
what kind?
I'm also what kind?
Yeah, what kind of water? Tap water, Dasani?
Generic Kroger purified drinking water.
Oh man, I forget what kind of water I have. I have to go get a bottle of it. Like I just put it in a water bottle, and I pretty much keep it on tap by me. I never remember the brand.
I just sometimes I get the like the big gallon jug just so I can swig it down in times of need.
I've never been a gallon person. I don't know how people can do that. I'm not built like that.
I usually go with the bottles, but sometimes I just need that trusty jug right outside me. But enough about me. Enough about water. Marvin Pie is back, and it's time for action.
Whoa. It's always about water. Stay hydrated. Now, I agree with you. It's not about you. It's not about me. I'm totally down with that. But, bruh, as a person who does not do enough of it, it's always about water. Stay hydrated.
Believe in victory.
All right.
Battle 1.
Stop to see who's going to sink and swim. Marvin Pie is back prepared to get carted over to the corner by Tiffany Cass and the squad, headed by One Way. Now, this is one way to take all the fun out of Fairy. Don't let her press any buttons.
Sure. Comes back in, slashes, but Marvin Pie ready with the back throw. Cass is like, nah, you going right back to this.
Top out again with another jump, and aside from the throw against the counter, that was the Cass show.
Battle 2. Engage.
Big jumping at the start, managed to just dictate the whole round.
Cass was looking for a run in that time, but Marvin vacated the premises for a second, just swung back down there. But more importantly, like, stalling out Cass's offense and getting a little bit of breathing room for Marvin to get started. Case in point, staying front side with the close 8. And then Beppo to boot Cass over to the corner. This is a completely different round going back and forth.
Right. Marvin Pie repositioning. Yeah, Cass is trying to mix up the calling out the boys, using those slashes just to keep Marvin on the toes.
Here's a really good thing about this game. Like, it was looking kind of sketchy for the fact that Cass was backing up. But since Marvin was still in the corner, there's nowhere for Marvin to go after him. Now, this is still looking really scary for Cass. He can't block him.
Yeah, that was just kind of checkmate as soon as they blocked that. As soon as they blocked the fireball, and I like that Marvin actually got the punish off of the grab.
That's a good trade. Good trade for Marvin, that is. Just get the space and make sure that Cass can't jump on just yet. But the 2 use of Cass starts to wedge Marvin in the corner. Empty jump low with the cover of the cat box. Get on.
DB. Just like with the Texel match. Very really use that reversal power. Escape that pressure. Alright. You know, it don't matter if you got the hit stop, you're just gonna run into everything, right?
Yeah, he didn't block.
Yeah, you blocking, he was different.
No.
Oh, yeah, he is. Like, yeah.
It was still working out for Cass.
Ooh, the anti-air, but hey, the scramble into the DP gives Marvin Pie just one more chance of life.
Finish.
Steps up and will gladly take the opportunity presented with a 2U.
Believe in victory.
One up for Marvin Pie. It was definitely a bit of a struggle trying to fend off Cass. It still hasn't. The Cass has been timing the jumps enough that Marvin hasn't been confident enough to like take them on directly.
Right. Chasing boy, these Cass is able to find a lane again. You could held it bay by the 5A. That was a little awkward. I mean, you can still dodge around Wayne's counter, so that was a heads-up play by Marvin to pay attention to everything, but getting around GG as well.
Cat's kind of displaying a similar issue. So it's like, I got this space. Let me call out the boys. Let me put it down to Catbot, and Marvin has been pretty consistent with this game.
All right. Good so far in the 580. So jumps around the short to you, so that's going to be the key to get out of jail for Marvin.
There we go. Not only we stand here, we got a nice chunky conversion with Gigi. She's waiting in the winds. GG. Speaking of GG.
GG. That looks so clean. Yo, they nerfed his character, right? They nerfed his character to oblivion, right?
Hey,
hold on. Let me go check Twitter again. I'm pretty sure all these characters have been homogenized, right? They trash. They don't do anything. Oh my, GG.
remember when Farrah used to be somebody, man?
I see she still is somebody. Used to be. Yo, ask Cass about when Farrah used to be somebody, all right?
Oh man, and speaking of Fairy, Marvin Pie has to go up again, this time for losers finals against Blue. So gotta run that gauntlet.
I had the next bad reference, right?
What's that?
The Mortal Kombat tower.
Uh-oh. So Blue is not using the character on the box or the other protagonist. So, I'm gonna look outside. I'm gonna see like frogs raining down or something.
You realize that's the poster child for season 2, right?
I don't know.
He's on the box in season 2.
It's Blue though. I don't know if I can play that exception. But nonetheless, he's gonna run it.
Showed up.
Fair enough. Going for the counter. Marvin Pie just confidently stomps in and just punishes.
More importantly, gets a screen position by doing that too. Instead of trying to step back and take opponents with GG, stepping forward and taking the bait to push Blue in the corner and have more real estate to back up with.
Blue trying to check the air approach. Gets the jump in, but no conversion.
One of the conversions, and if that was hit a little bit differently, that would have been the end of the round right there, but still very solid for Marvin to get another hit into GG.
Battle 2, engage.
Taking the space, but puts himself really far in the corner. And it looks like the speed of Bilal's projectile makes it maybe a little bit difficult to challenge the whip in the traditional way.
Nice job.
We'll have to see about that. Drilling over, gets a position.
Right. Making sure to stay far away from Bilal.
It's still on, I was about to say the burden is still on Marvin Pie to approach, but that's no longer true.
And I was a witty way to actually get in on Blue. Instead of directly looking for the anti-air, they were trading spaces. Marvin stepped under. But he's gonna need it again. Marvin just lost the lead.
Blue with that far seat.
Marvin answering back after the DX. Call step up. Get some space. This is a really good position for Marvin.
Pretty much gets a wall to come in behind. Oh, chops the berry. I don't know if there was an actual response to put on that in time, but at the very least it was blocked.
Let's turn up the light then. Show me where you want it.
Taking advantage of the fact that Bilal's jump through stopped his momentum and to throw off Marvin Pie's timing. Real good stuff from Blue. Typical Marvin Pie stuff right here.
That's actually a change that panned out in Marvin's favor. Because again, GG didn't hit people on the way up. So that allowed Marvin to throw GG behind and get the confirm afterwards. Instead of just taking possibly block you. No.
Yeah,
He did block. Speaking of which, she's still there. Allowing Fair to get another confirm.
Yeah,
And
for that whip grab, like the whole match. I think it's the first time Blue really gave it up.
it was the DP too. EXDP. So like really expecting a meeting to be
Believe in
there.
victory. Battle 1. Engage.
That's the first game for Marvin. Trying to charge him. Can't have that.
Yeah, Blue looks like he's not quite sure how he wants to go about it. You see, you kind of see the numbers going off in his head.
Right.
Trying to use that jump U to just be a little tricky with the air approach. Hasn't really gained anything though. Hasn't gotten a punch.
I wonder how much you can get. How much you can get in time to like whiff punish whips, because they have hurt boxes out there. We're trying to class versus them. Because you always have to keep in mind that this isn't a new thing in the past. It's the fact that Fairy's class system doesn't work like everybody else's, where her normals are lower priority, where they have lower levels. So, two things that might be helpful to Blue somewhere later on down the road, because the approach he's taking right now, it ain't working.
Not quite.
Battle 2. Engage.
Trying to take his time, but you know, whenever you slip up just a little bit, Fairy's able to slap you around a bit, and Blue's decided to just kind of camp out in the corner despite not having any real advantage at this point.
I think the way he got hit by GG kind of shows a lot to what's on his mind. Hold on a second, he get an opportunity getting in there.
Man grab.
That was a good step from Marvin after the clash to get out of the corner, so he has the room to back up and do all this again. Is he can too. He's stepping in, getting backed up by a bet player.
Sit back to the situation.
Yeah.
So Blue has been in a more aggressive positioning this round more than the other. Finally manages to get the cross up off the jump rebound.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking Blue was playing a little too far ahead, leaving the DP unpunished, but you know, still able to close out the round. So maybe getting a little bit of wind in the sails to start us off in round 3. Blocking wasn't falling for the delayed 5C from Marvin. Just a couple of 5As, counter hit 5As too. This one's gonna be big. I was surprised Easy didn't do anything.
Yeah, it wasn't actually quite yet. It was just like a really awkward timing, but I think that worked out better for Marvin.
Yeah. Complete control in this round.
Yeah, Blue didn't really think that one. It was like, maybe I can. Unfortunately, I don't believe the follow-up has any invincibility whatsoever. So
No. I don't know if it. I think it does, like, as Belial is teleporting over, but like once he's in the air and coming down, totally does not.
yeah, so parrying that fireball was not exactly the best choice, but hey, we know now.
And with that, we know that Marvin gonna be moving up the ladder to the top to fight against the, I was gonna say like the Shao Kahn of the bracket, which technically that's what Tekla is, but
It was 2 of them, right?
yeah,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
already wrote off poor Blue.
yeah.
He's still breathing. You put him in the coffin.
I mean,
He said help.
I mean,
Go ahead and get in there, big dog.
2 games with Belial, you're gonna convince me that switching to Grand at this point for the last ditch effort.
Very.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just like he does. Oh, he just went back to the ops. Maybe he
back
just
to
wants
lo-
some, he just wants some
Okay.
time or something. Who knows? You know?
See, the thing about all this though, is he's been playing Grand the whole time, right?
Mhm.
And he pulls out Belial now. And with the way these 2 games are going, like, what is possibly going to happen to turn this around?
Believe in victory.
I couldn't tell you.
Engage.
Like, Marvin has pretty much shown that for the most part, this has been figured out. Like, just stop the approaches and just play the long range game. Doesn't even need to stop the approaches. Just coming in the front door.
Alright, Blue going in with the DP though. So. But Blue's always been willing to just put out the reversals.
But the bigger problem is Blue's willing to stop the offense.
Yeah,
That cannot happen in this match. He got hit with GG on the way down, which is why that one moved.
yeah, it's like this weird thing where the strategy ends up being, I don't want to get hit by Fairy, but I also want to go in, and then the contradictions just end up being, or resulting in just like, it kind of just ineffective overall.
Okay, well, there's a chance again. This time tried to go in, and there was Beppo waiting behind the door.
Nice love. Wanna play?
Yep, here we go again. This is a scene we've seen several times.
Right.
You win.
Desperation counter gets met by a juicy super starter, and that puts Marvin on match point.
I respect that he tried it round start. Just try to mix up try to mix things up. So, all right. I would say good anti-air for him, but what's that?
I was thinking about it. I don't know if Blau hasn't been able to reach it round start. Anything reasonable. So.
Yeah, like his Farsi probably would, but it has a ton of startup and forward momentum, so it's not gonna beat anything straight out.
Just to get some space away from Marvin. That's Marvin that had enough confidence to run straight at Blue and get a throw. And this time changed up the tempo with the dashing into 2B instead. Caught Blue flinching. Blew up the ankles.
Blew up the angles. I like that.
I actually wasn't trying for that, but I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna run to the bank.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So Blue out 3-0, trying to run that Bilal. There's a few good ideas there, but ultimately it didn't pan out too much.
Like in my mind, I can see where it's really good with the neutral. I honestly don't think maybe the neutral is that bad. It's just it's one of the ones where, whoa, I'll get to that in a second. It's one of the ones where Bilal really has to be in tune with what Fairy wants to do.
I can see that. Oh, and here we are at Grand Finals.
Bro, who is this character? This is the character that we didn't think was going to happen, right? It was on the back of our mind. It was like really on the tip of your tongue. Didn't think she would be standing there.
Well, from what people say, this is Charlotta is also one of the winners of the patch, and I feel like the attitude has always been that Charlotta has always been a character with the tool set to kind of counter what Barry wants to do.
Right.
So that may be a good reason why Tech will go into this.
If I remember correctly, the Bane in Marvin's side throughout ZoneBreakers Online actually has been Charlotta. Not from Tecto, but from Jan, so totally see this idea panning out. Marvin's able to escape the corner. It's a really important escape too. Ooh, shut down the anti-air.
Stuff coming in from the top rope. Not that time though. Can't trick invincibility.
Right. Break the glass.
Texel just runs full screen. Not. I think he just inspired enough fear in Marvin Pie just to have that lesson. But Marvin Pie has not been he hasn't been dissuaded completely from these moves. But he is very wary of what Charlotta can do.
More like Marvin was waiting, hand on the trigger to blow up the onslaught. I remember what it's called, the Shining Onslaught. The Charlotta ball.
Holy Ladder is the Demon Flip, right?
The Holy Ladder is the DP. Demon Flip is Noble Strategies.
Noble Strategies. Well, we have not yet seen any of Texas Noble Strategies. It looks like it's necessary at this point in time.
Gotta have some strats for getting in there. Slowly getting pushed back to center screen. Tries to roll in, but doesn't get too much from it. He had the right idea, but Charlotta's jump is a little too fast to stay in the air against the swing, so Marvin gets back to center screen, finds the 2C and puts Gigi out.
Just trying to find some kind of out. There it is.
Yes. That is an autocorrect, I think that's what that means. Something I have to check into. But I get the impression that the dive should have actually turned around and hit Fairy. It still doesn't matter too much. Is Tekla still in control, looking at the top side, waiting for a DP, nothing doing just yet. Run in, putting a little more chip on, taking the lead with the chip as well, and finds an EX ball as Marvin was trying to get Gigi behind Tekla. That's a good look from Tekla. Good reaction.
Yep, this probably makes it pretty difficult to reliably use Gigi like you would in other matches.
I get the impression, I'll also get the impression that Tekla was kind of looking for, because Marvin has found a couple of those setups, like throwing Gigi behind Tekla as he's coming in. Hasn't always gotten it confirmed from it, but it's usually gotten like at least blocked. So.
Alright, well, Tekla finally got that block on the DP. Got the corner punish.
Wasn't the biggest one, but I like that Tekla had the heads up to run up and take a 5A instead of like hoping that he was in range for a close 5C. Situational awareness.
That was a very brave Beppo.
Finish.
Marvin Pie having to establish that he doesn't fear Tekla in Charlotta. I think that's the kind of the only thing that's really keeping Tekla at bay is just being willing to manage that risk.
Believe in victory.
Is it the lack of fear or the willingness to take the risk? Because I feel like that was more of the latter.
Fair enough, fair enough. Oh, catches the dodge. Gets the corner, gets the side swap too. Good stuff from Marvin.
Winning Tekla stepping in again, going over to 2U. Still can't really find his way in the door just yet. 2U again.
Still very reliable tool in Barry's toolkit.
I get what he was going for. Charlotte's not as fast as Tekla wanted her to be. Because he was just trying to run directly under Gigi.
Yeah. Nice clash there. I think that saved Marvin Pike quite a bit.
Yeah.
Alright, Tekla finds it. Jump in. There you go.
Tekla's got his foot on the gas.
He's like a pit bull. He ain't gonna let go here.
Tekla's up and taking close B this time.
Down.
Just all the way down to the supers. He's gonna ride the momentum into the third round.
3. Engage.
Fine. That was good for Marvin to step away from that, just to let Tekla air out a ball.
Yep. It's just like he stepped away just enough to get the 2U punish as well. So good stuff. Yeah, Tekla finds the money with that jumping.
Yeah, he's just waiting for Marvin to try to reposition and chase it down. Hasn't stopped just yet. He's looking for the DP, nothing doing. Doesn't get to confirm from the 2As, but gets another chance with another jump in. EX slashes. Feel like there should have been more afterwards, but it wasn't. Tekla's still in a really good position. Was looking for the jump, but didn't believe in it, so lets Marvin out, but not for too long. Steps up and takes another punish on a blocked DP.
Yeah, and it's difficult for Barry to just always straight up to react to Charlotte being in the air, because it could be, again, her noble strategies, her really fast jump. There's a lot you got to really think about when she's not on the ground and coming toward you. And there's that too.
So that angle. Got the protractor out for that one. Wait a minute.
So I don't know what's happening here.
Wait a minute. Is that what happened? Is that why Marvin missed the jumper?
I think, I don't know if we got a DC or desync or what's going on. Connection with opponent was lost.
Dun, dun, dun. That's drama. Who done it? Uh-oh. Hey, where's Tectum? Where's
Technical say he got logged out of his account.
Oh, no.
Where it is. So I don't know how you gonna handle the TO.
I have no clue how we're gonna handle this. I've never really seen anyone ever get logged out of their account. Let me see what's going on.
One moment, faithful stream viewers, while we sort this out.
This is where we do the please stand by sign with the bossa nova in the background.
Yeah, it might just help to go ahead and just switch to the
The question is always talk about what. Talk about the sticky situation at hand. Do we really want to?
Yeah, we can just keep it dead air, or that y'all can just watch the Be Right Back.
No, you know what needs to be said though, because this is the clearest time ever.
What's that?
Yeah, this is a lunch break. I'm a mute for a second because I imagine this will take a bit. I guess it's safe to say we'll be right back.
All right, I'll do the same.
All right, so we are going to go ahead and give the reset set to Marvin for that.
So.
All right, so we came to the decision that we're going to give Marvin the reset, and then from that they're just going to draw.
Are you talking to me or to the stream?
Both.
Okay.
So, yeah. Because Tectal said he's not sure how soon he's going to be able to get his account back, and they both agreed to. Marvin's exhausted because he played it like a bunch of tournaments, so they're just going to go ahead and call that a draw for Grands.
All right. Well, you heard it here first, folks. So all I can really say is BB Tag will be on later. Is that 6 p.m., right?
Yes.
Yeah.
BB Tag will be starting at 6 p.m. So we will probably have like some casual matches in between that potentially, or we might just go offline. I'm not 100% sure yet. So whichever way though, we appreciate y'all coming through, watching this with us, and bearing with us through all this. we will go ahead and plug the match arena really quick. So if you guys are watching, the match arena is still open for both BB Tag and Granblue versus. It will be closing at the end of BlazBlue. So until then, if you can go ahead and just hit that match arena command in the chat, you can go ahead and enter the code on screen after signing up with your favorite social media and adding a free 50 cents to the pot, net of no expense of your own. So if you want to do it while you're also there, you can go ahead and sign up for some of those sponsor quests that are there too. It's just like retweeting or liking some tweets here and there, or you can donate some of your own money if you'd ever so wish. So we're going to take a small break right here, and then when we come back, we will be with BlazBlue at 6, but in the meantime, we'll probably just have some casuals going on, depending. So we will see you guys in a bit. So appreciate you guys coming through.
All right, peace.